And we now have an exclusive interview with Police Commissioner Novelle Francis as he gives his views on the substation in La Valley.
What is your take on this, sir? And will the people in Cane Bay and La Valley get their substation one day?
Yes, well, I'm here to reassure the business community as well as the residents here in La Valley and the surrounding areas that, in fact, this substation will be built out at some point in the near future. Obviously, there was some funding appropriated back in the 27th legislature in the amount of $450,000, which had been determined to be inadequate. As a matter of fact, Commissioner Darrell Smalls had his engineer do an assessment of the structure and had determined that it will be well over $1 million to actually do the repairs as needed here to create this emergency center, not just for the police department, also for fire as well as the emergency services responders. Since then, we have continued to ensure that there is protection of the residents here. We have met with them in town meetings in the past. We'd also addressed some of the lighting conditions through WAPA. There was also a discussion before to bring the mobile substation out here. We attempted to do that. However, there were some security concerns with being able to maintain the mobile substation at an open area. We had WAPA install the electricity. However, we're not able to materialize bringing the substation out here. The recent bond bill that the governor had sent down to the 28th legislature in the amount of $87 million had again identified some monies for the La Valley substation as well as the Cotton Valley substation, and that was recently passed, I think back in July 8th. Of this year. That was now passed, and that money is now becoming available to the police department. So we intend to utilize that money to start the build out of this emergency response center. Senator Donnerstog, by way of a letter yesterday, I received a correspondence from him as well as a press release simultaneously asking for an update on what's going on here with the build out of the substation, as well as to other updates in terms of some areas in St. Thomas, the Red Hook Center, and I was surprised by it. Obviously, that the press release came simultaneous with the inquiry. I have always made myself available to the senators to provide them with any update information as to what's going on, and also to seek their suggestions and recommendations in how we could improve our law enforcement efforts here in this community. This is no time for politics or grandstanding. Unfortunately, this is some serious business. I think that the residents of La Valley and the surrounding area deserve the best from their law enforcement, and we intend to provide them with that. And all I could ask is that I'm willing to sit down with Senator Donnerstog and any other senator on a one-on-one basis to try to address those concerns. The governor made a serious commitment back when we met with the residents and business community here in La Valley late last year that we want to have this substation built out, but more importantly that we continue to provide some level of protection to this community, and we have done that.
Mr. Commissioner, I know you're very busy, but thank you for straightening that out today. We are here in La Valley, and hopefully the people in Cane Bay and La Valley can be protected, and hopefully that substation will come to fruition. Here with Police Commissioner Novelle Francis, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And here now is the second part of the exclusive interview with the widow of a businessman who was gunned down on St. Thomas.
When you left the store, recount for us what it looked like. What was the moment? In other words, it was closing time, and you were going with your husband to the car.
Normally the mall closes at 9 on a Saturday night. Fridays and Saturdays the mall closes at 9. Usually we try to pack fast and get out of here by 9:30. My husband, an employee, and myself was walking towards the parking lot. And as we got, just as we were about to enter the parking lot, we just saw two gunmen running out from behind the post office. I can even show you the bench they were sitting on. And they just ran up and shot my husband. When my husband fell, then they came up to him, took his bag, I didn't even realize when they had taken my employees back because I was screaming and getting on like a crazy person because it seemed there were few people in the area when this happened, and it seemed so strange that all of a sudden my husband is lying on the ground bleeding profusely, you know, from the gunshot that he got. And these people, they could have asked us for the bag. They could have taken the bag. They could take the store. They can take anything they want. But just to come out and shot somebody in cold blood is something that I never in my wildest dream think could have happened to us.
Strange moment after that. Then he was still at the hospital, but he died a week later, or what?
He got shot on the 6th of June and he died on the 30th of June. It is unbelievable what these people did. Nobody came to us to get a report. And I reported this to the commissioner, I reported it to the person in charge of the detectives, I reported it to police, and nobody seemed to be interested. We did not give a report. The police made up a fictitious report, and it was totally incorrect. They said that the gunman asked for the bag, and although we gave them the bag, they still shot us. Nothing like that. Absolutely nothing, Mr. Carl. Nothing like that. They came out, they shot my husband, then they came to collect the bag and they ran away. I needed my bag. I called the police station to get the police to come and look with me the next morning because I was thinking my husband would recover. I mean, I stayed in the hospital with my husband all the time he was in the hospital. I scarcely ever move unless the doctors told me to go because I'm not going to be able to talk to him or anything. I slept at the hospital. I stayed with him. I can go through day by day everything that happened, all the things I asked the doctors and so on and so forth.
In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee Carl from St. Thomas. And stay with us on News Channel 8. We have more news up after the break. Sterling Optical has been giving scholarships to students in our territory for 7 years now. And even with these hard economic times, the scholarships just keep getting better. Here's News Channel 8's Wes Small with more.
Here at Sterling Optical once again, and it's their 7th anniversary here of doing this, their Sterling Optical Scholarship Program. I'm here with Dr. Adams and, of course, her husband, Joel. And this is just a fantastic, event. So without further ado, Doc, why don't you go ahead and introduce our lucky recipients.
Actually, I just wanted to say a few words. This is actually our 7th annual Adams Mahipet Scholarship Award. Basically, this year we have 10 recipients. In keeping with the Sterling Optical's motto of giving back to the community, we opted 2 scholarships from last year, which we did 8 scholarships. The students were judged in the areas of academic achievements, SAT scores, community involvement, and just overall good scholarly students. First, we have Ms. Poonam Adesani.
Hi, my name is Poonam Adesani. Firstly, I would like to thank Sterling Optical for the scholarship and my parents and my friends and family. My future plans are to attend Northeastern University and major in psychology.
Ashley Lawrence.
Good morning, thank you. I would like to thank Sterling Optical for giving me this opportunity to get this scholarship. I'll be attending Rutgers University in New Jersey, and I want to become a pediatrician, and I'll be majoring in biology.
I just want to say thank you to the entire Virgin Islands for the continued support over the last 12 years of doing business in the Virgin Islands. We would like to give back to our community, and one of the best ways to do that is to nurture young minds because this is a capital investment in our future. And so contributing to education is significant, and it's a step to social mobility, and we're really proud of doing that.
Once again, a great corporate sponsor is Sterling Optical, and all of you, give yourselves a round of applause. You're going to institutions of higher learning because of this man and your hard work and your parents. Thank you, and your teachers as well. Here at Sterling Optical, I'm Wes Small for News Channel.